Good afternoon and welcome everyone to the presentation and the final round of the event, The Perfect Escape. Now, this event has been crafted by IIITD ECEL, and we have made a complete event for the participants to feel like a CEO, to step into the shoes of an entrepreneur and know the daily challenges that they have to face. In this event, they were tested on a theoretical quiz. Then they had to do the bidding for the specific items. They had to trade with their competitors to get what they wanted. And in the end, they will be presenting a presentation in front of you explaining why their approach is the best. So we have 10 teams who made it to the final round. The first team is Team Jumanji. Then we have Team Finmark. Then we have the Knights, Team JK Solutions, Team Falcons, Team Agile Adepts, Team Fian, Team Solo Equalizer, Team Limb Discom Populators, and finally Team Brute FC. We congratulate all the 10 teams for being selected in the final round. We will begin the final round. In this round, they will get only 3 minutes to explain their presentation. They will be screen sharing. After that, we will be releasing a form which will be only filled by the top 10 teams and no one else. So I request the other participants to please do not fill the form. Only the top 10 teams will be able to fill the form. So I think is Team Jumanji ready? Rahul, you can stop the screen share. The team
Yeah, we are ready, but it's just that I have to log in it from laptop, so I'll just log in it, so it'll take a minute. I hope it's fine.
You should be prepared. So should we move to team?
Yeah.
Should we move to team?
If it's possible, like it'll take a minute because my iPad had some screen sharing issue. So if it's possible, can team to present ahead of us? We'll by the time log in from the laptop.
Okay, then I think Finmark can go ahead and show, right?
Yeah, please, Finmark, go ahead, and Jumanji, you can present after Finmark. Please be prepared by that time.
Yeah.
Is Team Finmark ready?
Yes, we are ready.
Okay, great. So you can unmute yourselves, open your camera if you want, and start screen sharing. As you cross 2 minutes, I will make a slight noise like ping or something to alert that 2 minutes are over. And at the end of 3 minutes, I will announce. Okay.
I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So now my partner Sugar will start with the presentation.
Yeah, Kriti, just before going towards the presentation, please make it in the full screen. Just make it present. Okay, please. Go.
So your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good evening. We are the team Finmark and we are dealing with the company Casio. Casio was established in 1957. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, so Casio was established in 1957 by the four Casio brothers. In 1974, Casio released its first watch. Casio has been a household brand for decades. The situation we are dealing with is Casio plans to venture into the luxury watch segment in Europe. They recently launched a new luxury watch in Europe. So the task at hand is to increase the demand for luxury watches amongst the public. So what will be our strategy? Our strategy is promotional marketing. Promotional marketing is a set of standardized activities adopted by the industry to increase the brand awareness and sales. So what exactly are we promoting? We are promoting the advanced Japanese technologies. Casio watches are so advanced they were worn by NASA astronauts in 1981, 40 years ago. We are also trying to break stereotypes using the Casio's corporate creed, creativity, and contribution. We are venturing into the European luxury market. Casio watches are the best of both the worlds with advanced digital technology and European luxury.
So our brand ambassadors are Hamilton, a British racing driver, and Adele, a Grammy award-winning singer. In order to excel in the European market, Casio will have to compete with leading European luxury brands such as Rolex, Omega, and Cartier. We are planning to advertise through leading magazines such as Vogue, Cosmopolitan, and Marie Claire's to make our readers aware of the various products we will be launching in the European market. Social media is used by 3.96 million people, and platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube provide excellent opportunities to advertise our product.
Ping.
Casio has sponsored events such as Southeast Asia Football Championship and partnered with Sevilla football team. It can also extend sponsorship to events such as the Open and F1 in order to venture the European market. One more important thing that Casio can do is participating in Basel World. Basel World is an international show which is related to watch and jewelry industry and it is held in Switzerland every year. It comprises of about 2,100 exhibitioners from over 45 countries, including the leading watch and jewelry brands. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Finmark. Your time is okay. You finished under 3 minutes. That's good. So I'll just circulate the form. If any other team has a question for Team Finmark, you can ask them. The form is in the Google chat.
I can see
You can
Blue
please fill the form.
FC has raised their hand. So yeah, do that please. Please go ahead.
Can the host please accept? Thank you.
So, can I ask my question?
Actually, your voice is
Yeah, we can't hear
There's a
you.
lot of echo.
like it's echoing. It's echoing.
Is it fine now?
No, still
Yeah.
we are facing some echo.
I need to check why is it happening. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Until then, Knights, you can go ahead.
Okay, first of all,
He can post his question in the chat if he wishes to.
Yeah, he can do that.
Yeah, he can do that, but he also needs to present, I guess. So that time he would also finish the issue. Maybe, yeah, by that time he can send the question in the chat. The Knights, you can also, you can go ahead by that time.
Yes, please.
okay. So first of all, congratulations, Team Finmark, on your presentation. It was really nice. Secondly, my question to you was how. Oh no, we're not supposed to present right now. Okay, so my question to you was how exactly do you justify the choice of promotional marketing for Casio as such?
So
Why only promotional marketing?
Right.
Yeah, sorry.
So as we showed in our presentation, we feel that promotional marketing is the best strategy which can be used by Casio in order to venture in the European market. Because since Casio is a very well established brand, so it needs to venture into the European market with its luxury brand. So it's already present in the European market, but it needs to start a new sort of product setting, which is its luxury brand. So I feel that promotional marketing will be the best for it because since uh, since Casio is a well-established brand, it should be using advertising strategies, and it can also do its social media marketing and use various platforms in order to make the Europeans aware that they are also launching their luxury products. So I feel that promoting the new kind of products that they will be launching will be the best technique for them since Casio is already a well-established brand. So promotional marketing will be a good idea for them because it's promotional marketing is basically used for those brands which are well established. So that's why I feel that Casio can do a great deal by participating in different events, sponsoring different sports events such as the F1 or the Open, which is a golf event which is very famous in Europe. And it can also feature in magazines such as Vogue and Metropolitan, because since it's an established brand, it will be easy for them to contact
Yeah.
the. Oh, please stop. Okay.
Can I have a follow-up, or the time is
No,
over?
no.
Go for it.
Sorry
Sorry.
for that, sir.
The Knights
Yeah,
has
the
asked
next.
a question. Brute FC wanted to ask a question.
Can I confirm? Can you confirm that? Is my voice not echoing now?
Yeah, your voice is okay now.
Yeah, it's better.
Brute FC, you can ask the question. Brute FC. Okay, so
The celebrities or those high valued magazines like Cosmopolitan and Vogue. So is that a strategy really useful for the company?
Yes, I feel that it is definitely useful for the company, because luxury brand people who buy luxury brands definitely go through these magazines such as Vogue and Metropolitan, because they want to know about the latest trends in the fashion industry. So I feel if Casio will advertise in such magazines, it will slowly start people will start slowly recognizing it as a luxury brand, because Casio as of now, it's an economy brand, but then when it wants to venture into the luxury market, then it would be important for it to establish their standards with par to the luxury brands such as Rolex, because Rolex also advertises a lot in Vogue. So in order to give competition to such well established brands, it will have to advertise through magazines such as Vogue and Metropolitan, so that it can reach the top notch people who are going to buy these luxury watches.
okay, so I hope that answers the question, Brute FC. If any other team doesn't have any other question, then we can stop this presentation. The Knights, you haven't filled the form yet. If you don't, you will not be counted. Only the Knights is left. Knights, if you want to, then please fill the form. We will be closing in another
Yes,
minute.
yes. My teammate
It's
is free.
done just now.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Shivam, is it possible that you could have a cap on the answering time?
Yeah.
If possible.
Yeah, I just realized that right now. So please keep your answers to a maximum of 20 to 30 seconds, if possible, because then the event would stretch out a lot if you keep answering for 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, then is Team Jumanji ready now?
Yeah, we hope. Yeah, I'll just screen share if you just tell if it's being seen screen shared or not.
Okay, please share.
Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see this.
Okay, so yeah, can we start?
Just start your timer. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and go.
Okay, so first of all, let us talk about the problem we have in the company. First of all, we are Team Jumanji. The company that we have is Byju's. The problem, which was that free lectures have been uploaded for majority of courses for students to access for free, and our aim is to increase the reach of the courses as much as possible via the affinity marketing. Now, what our platform offers, first of all, our platform offers various video lectures for competitive examination, as well as for various classes for the student lectures from class 6 to 12 and competitive examinations like NEET and JEE. It moreover offers various courses and lectures for competitions like UPSC, CLAT, banking, and IP competitions as well. It is available in many regional languages, and with animation and visuals, it makes the concepts easier to follow. Each course is followed by a short quiz to keep the track of your learning. Now, let us come to what our problem strategy is. Our strategy is affinity marketing. Now, what will be the course of action? Now, affinity marketing, as we know, involves a collaboration between a mutual company, which will help us to give a common particular interest for that particular company in which we are mutually benefited. So, according to this strategy, we plan to partner with the e-commerce giant Amazon India. As part of the partnership, students across the nation are assured certain discount coupons once they complete an online lecture and attempt a quiz. So, how it will happen in layman terms is that a person, first of all, will come on the website to access the free lectures. As soon as the person will access the free lectures, first of all, in order to access the free lecture, he has to give in his login credentials, a phone number, and an email ID. So this will ensure that we have the details and only be able to access the free lectures. After the lecture, so we have uploaded thousands and thousands of lectures for various topics. So he has to complete lectures for a particular topic. For example, if a topic is maybe algebra, so there are 6 lectures in algebra. As soon as that student will complete 6 lectures of algebra, after that there will be a quiz. That quiz will have 10 questions, a timed quiz, and the person has to get at least 60%, that is 6 questions, he has to do correct. As soon as after those 6 questions are correct, we will be giving him a discount coupon. So that discount coupon, he can go and use it on Amazon. So this coupon code could be used across Amazon on variety of, on each and everything possible. It can be used on stationery, it can be used on to pay electricity bills, or it can be used on anything. Now, so this is our primary strategy. Pair up with a company, that is the e-commerce giant, and do the needful. Now, my fellow teammate Manas will explain about the supporting strategies as well. Over to you, Manas.
Lakshya, can you show the supporting strategy one? Yeah. So an initial approach to this strategy would involve holding a mega prize for our users, such as an entire course could be completed within 30 days. If a user is able to complete that, we'll be offering them an Amazon gift card, which would be worth 10,000 rupees. And this gift card could basically be used across the entire e-commerce website. Another strategy for this is...
Wrap up, please.
Sorry.
So another strategy, so after this, so we will be using the another strategy that will be, we propose to collaborate with the Prime Video platform to produce web series related to various competitions. And the user could also receive additional discounts for bringing in additional users after they have completed the first quiz. So these are the 3 strategies, the primary and 2 supporting strategies. Pair up with Amazon and do the needful. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, team Jumanji. Okay, so I can already see LD has a question. Brute FC has a question. So, LD, you can go first.
Yeah, okay, guys. First of all, great presentation and great mechanization of how you're implementing the strategy. But I think one thing that was missing is that why is the strategy that you've chosen better than any other strategy? So I think if you could talk about that a little bit, why have you chosen this specific strategy?
Your question was not audible. Can you type it in chat?
The question was, I am from LD as well. The question was essentially that why is it that your strategy is essentially the best? Like there are many other strategies. Why is it that yours is exclusively the best strategy out there in the market?
Okay, so first of all, so like there are various other strategies present in the market, and they are like if you just compare us with various other giants like Unacademy, they have been using various strategies. So our strategy stands, and if you just compare us our market cap as per their market cap, so we are at a much higher level. It is due to these unique strategies as only because if we'll collaborate with Amazon giant, we will post links of various stationery materials of the books related to the topic. So that person will automatically go and buy. As soon as he buy, he'll be engrossed in the topic. Moreover, this strategy, as it involves a quiz and a good incentive, that is a discount coupon, it will ultimately make the student, first of all, interact with that topic. He'll listen to it properly. And we know that our content is best. Our content is the best we know. So if he listen to the content properly and not for the sake of it, he'll be told that this particular topic has so much good content and it's in the form of animation. So ultimately, what will happen? He'll be told that this content is best because we are providing the best content, and because of the quiz incentive as well as a discount coupon, he'll be listening to it properly. So this is how our strategy stands the best. Thanks a lot, sir.
Okay, I can see a question in the chat from Team The Knights. The question is, why do you think promoting Amazon is a good way to increase the base of Byju's?
So I think you just mistook our strategy of promoting Amazon. Like, why do you think when you are saying that promoting Byju by promoting Amazon is a good way to increase the base of Byju's? So first of all, if you have to buy a stationery, in this particular lockdown period, if you have to buy a stationery, by stationery I mean any fictional book, any non-fictional book, any competitive examination book, people are using Amazon. First of all, it gives it at a lower price than the market price, and second of all, you don't have to go out in this particular pandemic. So if you see in this particular strategy, we are pairing up, and Amazon is the biggest e-commerce website out there. It's not a very small website. The customer base of Amazon exceeds populations of various countries. So this is how it will help us to increase our customer base, especially in this time of the pandemic where people are going for e-commerce websites as compared to going outside into the market. Thanks a lot, sir.
Okay, so I can see 2 more questions, but we'll take only one. Agile Adepts, you can ask the question.
Yeah, so I have one question, like why would Amazon would be ready to collaborate with Byju's? Like they're already mega giant in their own field. So like why would they be interested in collaborating with Byju's in giving the vouchers?
Ma'am, first of all, why Amazon?
Can I add some extra information in this question, as I can't ask the question? I have the same question, but just in a different way.
It's not up to me. It's about the poster to choose it or not.
Maybe you can write it in the chat. If the knowledge or the information is relevant, they can use it in their question.
Yeah. I'll wait for you. I'll wait till the time I'll answer. Can you please write it in the chat, your question?
Till then, please fill your own forms. Top 10 teams, please fill the form till then. Team Fine has not filled. Okay, it's there. Other teams also please fill the form. I can see 2 more teams have to fill the form right now. Okay, the question is here. Agile, if you think it's part of your question, then please add it to your question and ask.
So the extra information is the Amazon Academy thing. So Agile, if you want to ask it.
Can
I just asked a similar question. Like it's the same.
Yeah.
You
so
may answer.
Can I answer now? Okay.
Yeah,
So
go
first
ahead.
first of all, telling the policy of Amazon has been to narrow down its audience as much as possible so they can target a particular segment. Amazon Academy, we already know that it has been established, but as compared to Byju's, Amazon Academy, especially in India, has been on a comparatively lower side. So collaborating with Amazon, first of all, it will help them in 3 ways. First of all, it will narrow their audience to certain professional courses where they can use targeted ads. Amazon has been running on the basis of targeted ads campaign. So Amazon will be easily able to use targeted ads campaign to help their customer base. Number 1. Number 2, Amazon Academy. In Amazon Academy has already been present. So when they have their own platform, so in this way, the reach on their platform will be increased. So it will be a private partnership. And lastly, Amazon, as compared to Flipkart, Snapdeal, has been so successful. It is only because of one thing: they target their audience and their ads. We are helping them to target their audience and their ads because we'll be placing, for example, if the person will be seeing a video lecture of algebra, down there will be suggested books for algebra, and those will be the hyperlinks to Amazon only. He can go and use it. So this way they'll target their audience. And we all know that without any proper login credential, no one can order on Amazon. You have to properly log in, give your payment details. So this is how Amazon will be a beneficial. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so Jumanji is over. Now we have Team The Knights. Is the Team Knights available? Ready?
Yes, we're here.
Okay.
Yes, we are here.
You can start screen sharing. Okay, so you're both ready? Yeah, your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
It's 5:30 p.m. now. We all know the meal between breakfast and lunch is called brunch. But what about such a time right now? Foodies out there would definitely know it is snack time. And the best choice for snacks, the brand on your screen, Haldirams. Greetings to our fellow leaders. We the Knights are here to solve a consumer-based crisis at Haldirams. I am sure all of you would have heard about this household name. Haldirams is known for its taste, hygiene, and trust, among many other attributes for the fame it has got in 100+ countries. Oh, but wait, we have a new taste, a new snack, releasing soon. How would we escape the crisis with the release at hand? Niche marketing is the way out. Niche marketing is the promotion or sale of a product or service to a particular segment of the market. Few of the many reasons for us to choose the strategy are because it helps us focus on specific segment, increase supplier loyalty, and get a better understanding of the market. My friend Arnav would explain in detail.
Okay, so catering to specific segment is the first point we'll discuss. When we start working for a particular niche, we will have much less competition, and the new dishes that we'll create will soon be popular among the target region. For example, a fusion of Sandesh and Rasgulla can be very popular among Bengalis, but not among the Gujaratis. When we work for a particular niche, our business efforts will be focused. We will be more efficient and can evolve in the sector fast. For example, Amazon as a company started as an ebook seller. It was the only one to do so. People used to laugh at those times, but the rest is history. So the second point is better understanding of market. Now we have a trusted consumer base and are unable to grow further. So our plan will be to will be to work in our particular niche in the market so that new customers start knowing and appreciating us. For this, we will focus on dishes in particular regions, and we have factories across the entire country, so we can do that easily. So as we are getting ingredients from a specific company, we will make sure from people from all states get to taste our product, and we'll sell it in the region where people like the dish the most. Example, Bhelpuri in the west and Murukku in the south. Supplier loyalty is the last point. If we successfully become the taste of a region, we can become the leading supplier as well. Lastly, we will adapt our dishes according to the customer demand, for which we will do variations in the ingredients provided to us. A big example of this strategy is Apple, whose consumer base is willing to pay anything, and that is why they also follow niche marketing. Thank you.
Thank you, team. The Knights. You have spoken.
I have a question to ask them.
Just a minute, please raise your hands. All the teams have to ask a question. Okay, I can see Finmark. Finmark, you can ask your question. And please keep the answers to 30 seconds.
So I wanted to ask that basically niche marketing is related to targeting a specific sort of audience in your market which will be willing to buy your product. So in your presentation, you did not mention us what are the specific type of people you are going to target. Are you planning to target your new product to children or to adults? Like, what is the sort of product that you will be targeting to the kind of people? So I feel that you should have told in your presentation what exactly what's the audience that you are trying to target. And then since if you are bringing a new company also with yourself, then how will you manage to build the trust of the audience so that they will be able to buy the product that you are marketing?
I actually clearly mentioned that our targeting will be region based. That is how we'll do the niche marketing. I clearly mentioned that we'll focus on states, as the people from a particular state have a particular taste, and they like few products a lot, and few they just don't like. So that's my answer.
So adding on to that, your question was about which particular segment we're going to target upon. We did not mention which product is going to come out, which taste is going to come out. So we did not mention which segment we're going to focus as well. So we didn't want to break the suspense. So until unless we don't tell the product, you will not know which segment we are focusing on. So as he mentioned, it is region based again, like Murukku in the south and Bhelpur in the north.
Team Lim Discompopulators, you can ask your question.
Yeah, hi guys, a great presentation. Can you hear me properly?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you that Haldiram being a household brand and everybody enjoys cuisine from every place, from all around the world. So how would niche marketing be exactly the opposite of what you should be doing? Because Haldiram is a household name and every a person in Delhi staying in Delhi likes eating bhel puri. It doesn't connect somehow. Could you please talk about that?
Yeah, I actually took the example of Amazon. Amazon started as an ebook seller. I mean, not ebooks. They started selling books online. So this slowly expanded their business. That is what we are planning. Firstly, we'll introduce the product in a particular region where the people will like it the most, and then we'll start expanding it. So firstly, niche marketing is important. Then we'll diversify it.
Okay, so I hope that answers the question.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
See, your approach is based on the region. A person who wishes to consume a Gujarati thali and lives in Noida, then your model doesn't actually quite fit, right?
See,
Okay,
if you
I'll take
take a
that.
wait a second, Navya, wait a second. See,
Okay,
if
okay.
you look at our question, we will be given new ingredients. We'll be making new dishes. We are not going to make traditional dishes. So we are not certain about what region our dish will like. So that's the thing. If it was some traditional dish, we'll of course sell it
So
all across the country.
if everything is
No
you
follow-ups,
aren't
please.
specifying
No
the
follow-ups.
ingredients, so how is this
Shubham, no
niche
follow-ups.
marketing?
Should I answer that?
And also one more question. You didn't answer one of the questions which
No,
was asked
Finmark, no
previously.
follow-ups. Finmark, no follow-ups.
Sorry, guys, as
No
far as I
follow-ups.
love listening to all this conversation, the follow-ups are not allowed, and please keep your answers concise so that we don't stretch a lot. And yeah, please follow the rules.
Yeah. We are waiting for team fine to fill the form, then we can move on to the next participant. Team fine, please fill the form. Till then, JK Solutions, you can start presenting. Is JK Solutions here? Yeah.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
All right, all right.
Okay, so I think you can start. I'll just give you the timer. You can start in 3, 2, 1, and go.
All right.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. We are JK Solutions. I am Jaydeep Gundupalli.
And I am Kabir Singh Mehrok.
We are here to present our approach to solving our company problem. The problem is as follows. Your company, Memboro India, is a startup that provides various content creators to showcase their work and earn money. You are in the initial stage. What strategy will you use? We chose community marketing.
All right.
Kabir.
Since we know that Memboro's target audience is social media stars, aspiring writers and artists, and Memboro is a platform that helps connect the audience with their creators through a subscription model. Now, since we have chosen community marketing, now we have to understand what is community marketing. Now, community marketing involves forming an engaging brand presence in order to interact with community of customers. Now, we need to understand how is it going to be helpful in our scenario. First of all, community marketing is cost efficient. Engagement with customers in the community is more cost efficient than advertisements. That can be seen if we think out logically. Advertisements need money, whereas engaging with customers online takes no charge. Second of all, we can have excellent customer retention. It can be seen from data that 5% increase in customer retention leads to 95% increase in profit margins. Hence, if we use community marketing, we can reap the benefits. Third of all, it gives the customers a voice in our business. It will result, fourth of all, this will result in organic growth. So all of these points combined took us to choose community marketing as a perfect solution for the given problem. Now, we need to also know this data that 2/3 of the company profit rely on effective consumer engagement, and community marketing is one of the best way to engage customers.
How will it be implemented?
Ping.
Building a community. Next. Kabir, next slide. Building a community. By bringing early customers together, we can establish a community. This community can help us by providing valuable feedback to build and update our services further. Second, next. Introducing new creators to the existing community. We will gift our new creators with a welcome package, introducing them to our community. This will help connect the new creators with the existing community. Third, organizing online events. These events are modeled such that the more significant creator helps the minor creator, bettering the community overall. And we can improve the connections between the creators and help them mutually grow with organizing these events. At last, I want to conclude. This way, using community marketing, we can ensure an organic and sustainable growth using our community. This community will also help creators to mutually grow by connecting with each other by attending our events. Thank you.
Please wrap up. Thank you, Team JK Solutions. You have finished in time. Okay, so I see we have questions now. First of all, we have a question from Brute FC. Okay, Brute FC, you can ask
So
your
I
question.
have a question that how will you compete Netflix India or Amazon Prime India as they're using the same strategy on a greater extent with higher investment?
Well, their target audience is different. Netflix is a video content provider, and Membro is a subscription platform. So they are in completely different domains.
The Membro provides a platform for the creators to engage, to monetize their audience. It helps hobbies of newly upcoming creators to monetize them. In return, supporting the creator. So I don't think Netflix India or Amazon is doing that. Maybe Amazon associate services, but I don't think Netflix is doing this. And they're not a competition for us. It's a different domain. Any other questions?
If any other team has any other questions, then you can ask. Also, please fill the Google form for
Yeah,
JK Solutions.
I have a question. As you're using community marketing, so you're saying that it's kind of a mutually both ways kind of a thing. You know, you have community which attracts creators, and creators attract more community. So from what I understand, your situation is not such that you have either of those at the start. So how are you intending to, can you elaborate on how you intending to solve the chicken egg problem here, basically? How will you build a community without creators? How will you get creators without community?
We are hoping that in the starting, we will have some amount of creators that can be onboarded, and from that initial seed creators that we can grow our startup. I'm not assuming that we are at total zero. We are in initial stages, not a complete absolute zero. So we're hoping that using that creators and building a close-knit community, we can eventually seed onto that and build a greater community.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so does any other team have any other questions, or we can move to the next team? Okay, I don't think we have any other questions. If you have, please raise your hand right now. Till that time, other teams, please fill the form. I can see 2 responses are left. If you haven't filled the form, please fill the form. Only 1 is left now. Okay, so next team, Team Falcons, you can start presenting. Thank you, Team JK Solutions.
Thank you.
Team Falcons.
Yes,
Are you here? Yeah. Great. So Falcons, you can start presenting. We've got all the responses. Great. So are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Hi, I am Lakshya from Team Falcons, and my company situation is like my company Johnson & Johnson has been considered a trusted brand for personal care products, but the public is not satisfied with our customer service. What will we do to improve this? So I chose the marketing strategy for calls to action strategy. So why did I choose this? Because calls to action, first, what is calls to action marketing? Calls to action marketing is a term for any designed to prompt an immediate response or encourage an immediate sale. But I'm going to use it for after sales customer service. And what is about Johnson & Johnson Company? Johnson & Johnson Company is an American multinational corporation founded in 1886 that develops medical devices, pharmaceuticals, and consumer packaged goods. So the question arises why I chose calls to action marketing. I chose call to action marketing so that it is clear that the customers who have been using our products and not satisfied with the services can take action, like the steps, so that they are being satisfied with the customer service. They can fill our feedback form. Like we have our company's page, our website, but many of the customers are not very much like excited to go there and fill the feedback form. So instead of doing that, we would be presenting, one second. So we would be giving our advertisements on like social media platforms or any other on the websites, on the internet. Like if you want to take forward your dissatisfaction, so you can click here and fill the feedback form. You're not happy with the customer services, who's stopping up for giving the feedback.
Bingo.
And we have also, like, so that it is not a complex procedure, we have just put up these four simple questions. Like you have to fill in your details and just tell us how we can serve you better. We are ready to put the bandage on the wound for the bad services provided by us. You can contact us now and we would hear your complaints. We have also posted on Instagram so that we can hear you easily. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Falcons. Okay, I can see we already have a question. Okay,
Yeah.
we have from Team Stream.
Hi team. Thank you for the marketing strategy. I think it was interesting. I do have one concern / question. Based on what we have seen, when companies publicly apologize without taking action, when they just aim to take feedback, they do not really get a lot of feedback on it. And this is based on a lot of case studies that we have seen on Twitter. So how do you propose to, or how are you convincing your stakeholders to actually fund this campaign in the absence of any corrective measures?
So actually, like you are saying that we do not get enough responses, but we have a team prepared for the messages that they would attract the customers who have been already using Johnson & Johnson's products, and they would be ready to click on our site so that they can fill the feedback and also give us suggestions so that we can make our services better.
Thank you for the response. Is cross questioning allowed?
No, sorry, cross questioning is not allowed.
Thanks, team, for this answer.
We have Team Finmark. You can ask your question.
So I wanted to ask that it was recently in the news that a woman from New York filed a case against Johnson & Johnson, which was worth $120 million because the baby powder that Johnson & Johnson produces, it was blamed of making I mean the product that you were using, it was cancerous. So she filed a case of $120 million against Johnson and Johnson. However, Johnson and Johnson did not take any initiative to either stop the production of that baby powder or change its components or improve it. So what do you have to say on the basis of this condition? Like, how will you use call to action in this? Because people do give you positive feedback, like people do give you feedback related to these are the problems which they are facing with your products. However, you do not take any initiative to change the composition of those products.
With the help of calls to action marketing, we could also make the public aware that we have been changing the components, we are improving the quality of our products. So it's not that like we are not taking any action.
Well, I hope that answers your question.
We would be releasing this.
Sorry, go ahead,
yes.
Falcons, go ahead.
We would be also releasing the stats with the help of calls to actions. Our advertisement would be with a. That's it.
Okay. We have one more question from the Knights. You can ask a question. Till that time, Agile Adepts, please be ready.
Okay, thank you for the recognition. And Falcons, that was pretty understandable. Like you made the concept really easy. Secondly, my question was, how can consumers trust you? Because your founder or maybe your CEO, I may say, Curtis Johnson, he had allegations against him for sexual assault. So how do you expect the consumers to trust you for a strategy such as call to action, wherein you have to focus on consumers themselves and you can't do anything on your own?
I didn't get your question. Can you please write in the chat?
She mentioned that, I guess you can hear me. She mentioned that as your CEO has a sexual assault case going on him, or charges maybe. So how do you believe that the public would believe on your company, even when your company doesn't just took any action on his own CEO? I guess that was the question tonight, if I got it right.
Okay.
Yeah, it was partially right.
So if the CEO of my company have been in a sexual assault case, that doesn't mean that our products would have a low quality. The image of a company is not.
I don't think he got my question. Should I repeat?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. My question was, yes, your CEO has been alleged for sexual assault, but you have chosen a marketing strategy.
Counter questioning isn't allowed, right?
It's not counter questioning.
She was just
repeating the question.
She was just asking her first question.
Okay, so
yeah, then
I was just asking, your strategy is solely based on your consumers. Using such a strategy, will it help you get consumer confidence? Because as of now, it isn't high enough so that they feel free to give you feedback and tell you where you're going wrong because of the allegations against the CEO. So is the strategy right?
I think the strategy is right because it would make people believe in us that we are doing for them. Like we want their feedback, we want their suggestions, so that we are not going in a wrong way, and we want to help them. We want them to be fully satisfied with our products, and if there's anything we are lacking, we can have their feedback so that we can improve upon them.
Okay, thank
and
you.
Because of calls to action marketing, we can have immediate responses from the customers who have been using our products.
I think that answers your question. Now, is Agile Adepts ready? Team Agile Adepts?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, we are ready.
Okay, great. You can start your screen sharing. Okay,
Is
so
my screen visible?
yeah, it's visible.
Oh.
So, okay, so you can start now.
Dabur, our company is what?
Okay, 3, 2, 1, start.
Dabur, our company is planning to launch in Southeast Asia. So our target campaign locations are 11 countries in Southeast Asia, and these countries are as depicted on the slide. It has been reported that Southeast Asia has become a major hotspot of surge in COVID cases and is battling with this huge surge. In Southeast Asia, the consequences of COVID-19 pandemic are dire and are devastating the livelihoods of millions. And in order to come out as strong warriors out of this pandemic and to make the presence felt of our product in Southeast Asia, we have come up with marketing campaign Together We Can by using diversity marketing as our marketing strategy. To begin with, this campaign will be streamlined towards our Ayurvedic products, which holds 18.9% of Dabur's total production. Diversity marketing is employed by businesses seeking to reach new customers in different ethnic, cultural, social groups. And our company is seeking to reach new customers in 10 plus Southeast Asian countries, and we have devised marketing strategies to communicate with such diverse groups. And the whole purpose of introducing such strategies is to instill in these people a feeling of inclusion and to make them resonate with the essence of our product. So the need of the hour calls for a synergy between mental and physical health. By bringing this synergy into our campaign, Together We Can, we are including the culture of Buddhism in order to create a sense of belongingness and inclusion because Buddhism stands for major part in Southeast Asia. The practice of Buddhism helps to gain mental sanity, and for physical health, we will be showing how Ayurveda helps to orient our health habits and leads us to a disease free life. This synergy will be a major essence in our marketing campaigns run in Southeast Asia. As earlier mentioned, marketing strategies will include introduction of Ayurveda, which is in demand in such unprecedented times and is also the major revenue generator of Dabur. Buddhism, to instill in them a feeling of inclusion, flavors, in order to reach out to such diverse groups, we would be marketing customized flavors of Ayurvedic products, specifically Chawanprash, according to their regional fruits, so that we can capitalize diverse markets. This slide now showcases different customized flavors of Chawanprash, which we would be marketing in our ad campaigns in Southeast Asia. Different flavors include snake fruit, Marian plum, dragon fruit, and rabotan. And the impact of this diversity marketing will be to create a sense of inclusion and to help them in breaking regional barriers and to create awareness about this mental health.
Thank you, Team Agile Ellipse. Okay, so I can see a few hands have been raised. The knights, you can ask your question, and before that, everybody just please fill the Google form for the team.
Okay. So first of all, it was a great presentation, and you linked COVID and Dabur really well. That justifies why you released Dabur Kovi Rakshak recently. But are you aware as a team that recently you kept out an ad in the newspapers about Chyawanprash itself, saying that it could cure COVID-19, which was sent out in the newspapers without actually conducting proper clinical trials, With this in mind,
I would like to answer this. Actually, I know about this that Dabur recently did a campaign about this. However, we never said that this is a cure to COVID. It's just to strengthen your immunity. And of course, there are Ayurvedic methods that focus, and it is a clinically approved thing. So I feel it can. I can confidently say that it can help in boosting your immunity.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Team Finmark, you can ask your question, and then Team PI. Fine.
You stated one wrong fact in your presentation. You said that religion mostly followed by Southeast Asian countries, like it's Buddhism is in majority. However, I would like to say that this is not true because in Indonesia and Malaysia, Islam is the majority region. And apart from that, in the Philippines, the majority region is Christianity. So how will you be able to convince those people through your ideology of Buddhism that they should buy Dabur Chyawanprash?
Yeah, sure. Like you are saying that Islam or Christianity, there are other religions also which are in majority in Southeast Asia, but we are seeing as a whole in whole Southeast Asia, Buddhism is in majority. So that is why we'll try to capture that particular market, the one which is in majority.
And we also included statistical data that we found it on the web. And according to that, Buddhism is the most part of Southeast Asia follows Buddhism. So we tried to capture a huge chunk of market for our product.
However, your strategy will not be applicable to
No,
a lot of countries.
No cross question, sorry. Team Fine, you can ask your question.
Hi, Team Agile Adepts. I think this was a lovely presentation. I do have a question with regard to your core competency. So, as far as I know, Dabur has an exceedingly large presence in the middle class in India, and we see that some of those traits of the middle class, they extend very well to most of the South Asian countries. So, why would you give up the core strength of the company, which has worked on for so many years, which is like targeting to the middle class, their aspirations, and instead focus on religion as a way to market your product?
Okay, so I would like to answer this. Actually, the question that we were given was to expand our company into the Southeast Asian region, including 10 plus countries. So if I consider that, and I wanted to link it with diversity marketing so that I can collaborate, I can basically include all those, I can include both the Indian elements as well as the South Asian elements so that people can connect more for this. So yeah.
Thank you for the response.
Okay. Now, Team CN, first of all, please let me know how to pronounce the name. And second, are you ready for the presentation?
Yeah, so we are Team Fine. It's a so I think we are ready, Karthik. So
Okay,
turn on my.
you can just start screen sharing. But, I'll start your timing. Okay. So, are you ready?
Let him present from the first slide. Okay, I think we can start. Hi, so OnePlus has launched its first tablet, which is very useful for medical students and professionals, but there is already competition in the market, right? So we at Team Fine have developed a cause marketing strategy to kind of market these tablets really well. So you know about the situation, doctors, medical students in India. There is collapsing medical structure in this pandemic. I think we don't even need stats for that. It is so widespread that we just know it is happening. The medical education has hit hard. The medical students who are working remotely have to complete their big lab files, have to complete their education without practicals, without demonstrations. They're just sitting at home. And the folks who are in the hospitals, they are in the medical colleges, which also function as hospitals, they're kind of doubling down on their duties as students as well as doctors. And there is a paradigm shift to virtual diagnosis. As these spaces of consultations are getting closed, doctors have to shift to virtual diagnosis. So at OnePlus, we came up with Tablet. Tablet is a very precise tablet developed for medical students and professionals. It has advanced AR-enabled education modules which derive from the latest literature in education and HCI. It has enabled virtual diagnosis through intuitive softwares, be them video calling or be them note making. And we have a special InkFluid technology to help with quick note taking and layered drawings, two things which medical students and doctors do very frequently. Karthikeya, you're on mute.
So how are we going to use this tablet to help everyone? We have the three keywords. First is distribute. We're going to distribute our tablets to government colleges, government medical colleges, government hospitals, as well as other hospitals. And we're going to enable medical students to work virtually. We're going to empower NGOs such as Doctors for You, which actually go into these rural areas. So we empower everyone to the access to the cutting edge medical services. Right. So at OnePlus, we have always thought that we will never settle. We will take one step forward to use a technology to empower more and more people. But for this current campaign, we will never settle with lives. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, team. Fine. You've spoken under time. That's nice. So now, if any team has a question, they can ask. Till then, I'm circulating the form. Please fill the form for Team Fine. And I can see we have a question from the Knights. The Knights, you can ask your question.
Okay, thank you. And it was a really power-packed presentation, I must say. My doubt was the solution that you're giving to produce virtual online mode of teaching, if as far as I understand it, right? How much time do you think this will take? Because according to me, I think it's going to take years, or not years, maybe months, like 6 months minimum to actually design what you're trying to say. So are you trying to?
No. So what we are not presenting speculations here. We are presenting products which have been designed. We have been working actively in the R&D to develop these modules. We have consultations from Microsoft Research with regard to that. So they work extensively in producing augmented reality-based applications for healthcare. So kind of that partnership that research has already gone into, and what we are presenting is the product itself. This product is ready for launch. It's not a speculation.
Perfect. Thank you.
Now,
thank you for that question.
I can see Team Finmark wants to ask one. So you can go ahead.
So I feel that the brand name you have chosen from your product, it's like, I don't think it's a great choice to name a tablet only, because how will the others be able to identify which tablet they are talking about? Like you could have kept the name something related to medicine or something related to professional doctors, but since the name is the product name and the brand name both are the same, so like how do you think people would identify with this product? Like there are so many other tablets which OnePlus also gives, right?
I think that's a very interesting question. We chose the name tablet because the word tablet is inherently associated with doctors. Doctors prescribe you tablets. But I do agree with that feedback. We are in consultations with the brand identity thing. Tentatively, we are going to be presenting it as tablet, but we might switch to OnePlus tablet. If it makes sense. At the end of the day, we wouldn't want our consumers to be using our product's name in their everyday lives. And if we can kind of, get tablet for that word, I think that would be pretty great.
Definitely. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for the answer. We can take one more question. And before that, please fill the form. Some teams have not filled the form. And I saw Brute FC had raised their hand. Brute FC, do you want to ask a question?
Yes. I want to ask the question that how would you cope up with the anti-China sentiment that is going on, and also that how will your strategy be effective against the Apple and Samsung, because they are the largest market share in tablets.
Right.
As
So
they're
I would
also
like to
providing.
Right. Sorry. Vaneet, you have anything else more to say?
No. Carry on.
Right. So we have obviously we have always been working with the government of India to make sure that our privacy laws as well as our other laws are in line with the government of India's regulations, and our products have always been sold out in India. they sell out in minutes, especially with the phones. So in terms of marketing, that's not a problem. Our company is well established here and our products do well. Secondly, I think you asked about other brands having a good reach into these markets. So there is not right now currently a tablet which aims at this particular niche of tablets. And secondly, that is the entire point of our campaign, that using our cause marketing campaign, we are going to get a very significant amount of penetration into the market that does exist. And once that penetration is done, repeat customers are much more easier than customers. Thank you.
Thank you, team. Fine. That was a really good presentation. Now we can move to the next team, Team Limb Discombobulators. Are you present here?
Yeah, we are present.
Okay. Yeah, are you ready?
Yeah, I'll just start sharing. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Also, Abhi, if I break in between and my net is not good, then please continue.
I'll tell you.
Thanks.
Right. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Right. Okay, I'll start in
3, 2, 1.
Go. A very good evening to everyone. So we are Team Limb Discombobulators, and so basically what is our prompt? Our prompt is that we are Pfizer and we have come up with a new drug to treat ALS, not cure but treat ALS, and it's difficult to sell our drug because people do not trust ALS curing drugs. So the strategy that we have adopted here, and we believe that this is the best strategy, is the relationship marketing strategy. And we will be telling you why exactly it is that relationship marketing strategy is the best. So first of all, we did some preliminary research on ALS, like the market research on ALS. So the general statistics that came out were that around 5.2 people in a population of lakh get ALS, and average life expectancy at that point in time becomes 2 to 5 years. Then as far as the susceptibility is concerned, the symptoms are mostly like in the age range of 55 to 75, and there is no boundaries, like it does not discriminate per se, and it goes across. ALS goes across. And as far as the cause and treatments are concerned, it's not as such in hereditary, but there's no current treatment except for Pfizer. So what are the conclusions we draw from that? The conclusion that we draw is the target group is a small and close community of people with extensive interactions among themselves. Most of these people are 50 plus age, right? So widespread marketing would not help. Now, as far as the treatment time after diagnosis is concerned, we see that as soon as someone is diagnosed with ALS, since the life expectancy is around 2 to 5 years, they would immediately want to look for a solution. And hence, you believe that Pfizer comes in here, and this broad marketing strategy, like an alternative strategy, would not work here. Our strategy is the best here. And lastly, the competitive analysis. So we believe that Pfizer is the only drug which can treat ALS. Treat, not cure, right? So while all others just cure the body of ALS, so we believe that we are the sole competitor, and if marketed properly, we can become the market toppers, right? Now Tanish will.
Okay, so why have we chosen relationship marketing? And that was actually a first pick. So first of all, that people don't trust drugs, right? People trust the doctors that prescribe them. So if we have a good relationship with the doctors, then we're doing very well in marketing. Next. Okay, so any other kind of aggressive marketing campaign or widespread marketing campaign would actually increase mistrust, because suppose if you have developed a working cure for cancer, you shouldn't need to advertise it, right? So advertising these things actually has an inverse effect on the marketing campaign. So we don't want to do that. Okay, and the age group of our target user is greater than 50, right? Around 55, 70, 60. And these people are usually skeptical of social media, and they appreciate personal relations very deeply. So that is why the relationship marketing and long-term customer engagement is essential to the kind of drug that we're proposing. Can you move on a bit? So I'll give you a little bit of mechanization. I'll not go into detail, but what we give you is that the implementation that we bring to you is that we maintain long-term relationships with the doctors and the medical staff that are treating ALS, right? So that they recommend a drug. Second is that we provide avenues and incentives to recovered patients who are actually happy with our product, so they can go ahead and recommend our product on online forums. And third is that we let the drug spread inside the community on its own naturally through positive reviews and recommendations, and not force the marketing process, just increase the customer engagement and continue it. So thank you. And now we're open to questions, if any.
Thank you, team. Limb discombobulators. I can see 2 hands have been raised. First was by Fine. So before that, just please fill the form for team limb discombobulators. You'll find the spelling in the form only. Your button. And yeah, Fine, you can go. You can ask the question.
Right. Just like a twofold question. First of all, I understand the relation that you need to build trust for these medicines, but first of all, isn't Pfizer a name that is already popular enough across the world with the COVID vaccine that the trust is already somehow established? And secondly, don't you feel like if you have a cure or a treatment, or effective treatment for any of these diseases, which thousands and millions of people are in need of, you should market it so that they don't miss out on it? Relationship marketing would mean that you miss out on a lot of people for just a trust of a few. You're letting a lot of people suffer from the disease.
Okay.
That's my-
Tanishq, can I answer the first part? You can go ahead with the second part if that's fine with you, Tanishq. Okay, so see.
Sorry.
Yeah, even though we have the reputation, we get it. But the thing is that at the end of the day, the thing is that people do not trust ALS curing drugs as well. So there is a sort of mistrust that does exist in the market. And we believe that with our reputation and our relationship marketing tactics, we believe that when these two are merged together, we can actually capitalize on this ALS market. And we believe that we will soon become the market leader. So hence, like, necessitating the relationship marketing. And now Tanishq can answer the second part for you. Tanishq, are you there?
Yeah, so I'm here. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear you. I was
Answer the second part, like what Karthik asked, like the second part.
What was the second part? Can
you please tell? It was a long question, if that's possible.
Right.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I remember now. The large scale. Why aren't we promoting it on large scale? That's exactly what we brought the analysis, right? ALS is not a large scale problem. It is a very small scale problem, which the ALS ice bucket challenge they came up. It was only to raise awareness about ALS. So what we're giving you is that we want to infiltrate these small groups, or the groups that have actually formed in certain places where we've discovered a lot of ALS or these clinics or these online support groups, these online forums. We want to target those people, that community as such. Widespread, nobody knows about ALS that much. That is why they had to do an ice bucket challenge to tell us what it was. So that would not work. Sorry if anybody's speaking, I can't hear them.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so now Team Finmark can ask their question.
So I wanted to ask that recently one of the biggest cases filed on a pharmaceutical company was on Pfizer by the US government, which you lost, and you had to pay $102 million as compensation for that case. So that case was regarding the selling of antipsychotic drugs, and then it was also that false claims were submitted to the government health programs. And apart from that, there was a lot of adulteration in the medicines that you were providing. So apart from the relationship marketing that you are doing, why do you feel that any of the customers would want to buy products from a company which is harming their own, which is harming them, and which sells adulterated?
I get your question.
Yeah,
that is an excellent question, but somehow that actually proves a point. See, we have had these little troubles in the past, right? And we can't go back and change the past. What we can do is adapt our marketing strategy. Now, people are mistrustful of the previous drugs that we have because of that lawsuit. So what we're doing is that we're focusing on trust, not on some fake or not on some widespread fake marketing campaign. We're focusing on individual trust, building individual trust back. And that is actually a very good point that you bring up. Because of that setback, we have had to implement this strategy. And that is the perfect strategy that we can use right now. Thank you for that question.
Okay, the last question we'll be taking. But before that, just please fill the forms. I can see two teams have not filled the form yet. And the team Knights, you can ask the question.
So my question is.
Okay, so.
Yeah, I'll ask. Okay. So my question is, I haven't seen like doctors prescribing medicines directly to the customers these days, as due to COVID situation, people are generally consulting over calls or through virtual meetings. And if you are introducing a new drug, the people who will be suffering from ALS will mostly get it through some third person, and that too from a medical store. So how can you build a relationship in, I mean,
Okay. Let
you're
me
not
just
even directly interacting with the customer.
Sure. Okay. Right. Cool question. However, I say that you have misunderstood what exactly prescribing means. Let me just try to explain what exactly do we mean by prescribing. Right. When a person prescribes, we mean that you have called a doctor, you are consulting from the doctor, and he'll suggest you these drugs to take, which can help you cure yourself. Then it's upon the person itself. Like that's how private practice works, right? So like you saying, even if you are doing it online or you're doing it through WhatsApp or any other messaging platform whatsoever, at the end of the day you have to give the recommended drugs, right? And the doctor will only give those drugs with which he trusts upon, right? And that's the trust that we are trying to build through relationship marketing, when we say that yes, we will come up and we will actually do relationship marketing with these doctors, who will then prescribe these drugs to the people, like to the people who are suffering, to the patients who are suffering from ALS, right? So that is exactly a strategy. So like you are confusing prescribing with third person prescription, and while we get that is a legitimate concern, but at the end of the day, the prescribing part is, there's no shortcoming on the prescribing part due to the COVID pandemic. That is completely assured as far as it, as long as a trust is made between Pfizer and the doctors. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Jim Discom modulators. You can stop the screen sharing. If Team Brute FC is ready, then that will be our last presentation for the day. I really enjoyed listening to all the presentations. Very interesting. And finally, we have the last presentation of the day from Team Brute FC. So yeah, are you ready, Team Brute FC?
Yes.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome. I'm Vineet on behalf of Team Brute FC. So today we have a situation that Zara, a famous clothing brand, fashion brand, basically a premium fashion brand, has been criticized by the public. For selling clothes at a very high price, and your customer base doesn't grow even after giving offers like buy one get one. What strategy we have to opt? So we are thinking of a strategy, a scarcity marketing strategy. So basically, what are the notable strategies? Previous notable strategies Zara has been following. Some have been successful, and some are considered to be a flop. So basically, Zara is very quick on the public demand. Whenever the fashion grows, maybe it's not the first, but it's not the first. It's not the first one, but it is actually second. It is very quick response. It gives very quick response to the public demand. It has a faster production rate, small lot production. So the wastage amount is very less. Centralized design and product development, very good R&D, and have very big warehouses. Control strict scheduling at stores. Major manufacturing in Spain, then transported from there. So basically, it doesn't manufacture in other countries, but basically it manufactures in Spain only, and then from there it exports, and has a very short lead time in the stores. So basically, what are the problems that are faced recently? What mentality of the people we could understand? We as a brand could understand that public isn't criticizing over highly expensive range of clothing, as some category of people can't afford. We have been giving offer like get one for one offer, get one for one free offer, which is a totally failure, and we are unable to grow customer base. So there has been a threat to existing customer base due to criticization also. So basically, what is the solution we can opt for? So we have a solution, scarcity marketing strategy. So we are gonna lower the production of apparels to a very few quantity to make public thought that Zara has some 1 in a million products. So basically, we are gonna increase the rarity of the products. So and we should increase the production rate at a very higher rate, and introduce new trends by increasing the R&D, by developing the R&D. And we should introduce products for a very short span in stores. So introducing the products for a very short span make the customer think that it is a very rare product and it is a very valuable product. And we should introduce some brand new apparels for just 24 hours in a month. We could introduce some brands apparels that could be introduced only 24 hours in every month. That means only one day. That could make it very valuable, and person will die for it, for the product. And we could attract the new customer base by introducing the new 3 categories in a product, such as ultra premium, premium, and affordable. Ultra premium will having the very high profit margin and very less availability. Premium, the previous category we are providing, and affordable, the outdated fashion and the waste product. Means not basically the waste product, but the fashion that has been outdated, or we have stopped the production and we are having a lot in the warehouses. So we could give that as affordable prices. And this
wrap up again.
So basically,
please.
what will be the benefits? Never lose its image among the existing customer base, and we will having a rapid growth. So thanks.
Thank you, Team Root FC. Okay, so that was a very good presentation. You can stop screen sharing if you want. And I can see we have a few questions in the participants. Just before that, I'm sharing the form. Please fill the form for Team Root FC. This was the last presentation for the evening. I hope you all enjoyed the whole event. It was really lovely to organize this whole event and see you all give such interesting presentations. Then I think we can start with the questions. First, we'll go with Team Knights. You can ask your question.
First of all, you have chosen scarcity marketing for a worldwide company like Zara, which has 2,000 stores around the world. And your problem, the case is that your customers are complaining for high prices, because of which they don't want to buy a product. And by opting for scarcity marketing, you're telling them we are going to make it more and more rare. And once you make it more and more rare, the prices will go even more up. And with that, you won't be able to sell even one unit which you're selling right now. So I clearly don't think that scarcity marketing is the right option for Zara, which has a really wide consumer base.
So basically, if you have seen the presentation in the strategy, in the second last slide, I have introduced basically Zara. I have introduced 3 categories: ultra premium, premium. We could name them such like ultra premium, premium, and the affordable range. Ultra premium will be definitely for the rich and will be very rare. And in the availability will be on the rich places, and affordability will be outdated fashion. So Zara has a motto that it is actually premium. When it was established as a premium brand, and we have the competition from H&M, Louis Vuitton. These companies are also fashion brands which doesn't care about affordable range people. So we do need to care about affordable range people and our existing customer base, which does care for only premium brands. So thinking of that, we have to first take care of the existing customer base, and adding adding also the new customer base. We have introduced affordable range too.
Thank you.
So when a person enters, he has a mentality that he wants to buy a cheap, but not that cheap. So he would definitely go for option 2, not the last one and not the first one, because first one is higher in price and third was will feel him very cheap. So person will definitely go to option 2, which is not affordable, not too very expensive.
Okay. Thank you for the answer, Brute. Let's see. Now we'll go to the question from Team Fine, Karthike. Fine, Karthike. Okay, I don't think so. Okay, he has lowered the hand. Then we can move on to Finmark. Kriti, you can ask your question.
So I wanted to ask that during the present COVID times where the purchasing power of a consumer is already lowered, and then your company is also facing the problem of giving out products at a high price, you are saying that you will reduce the number of products which are available in the market. So I think this strategy will prove counter productive to you, because since you have a lot of other companies such as Gap, Mango, and H&M, people would rather prefer to go there rather than come to your company, especially when the purchasing power is low and you are selling products at a high price. Even if you
Sorry,
reduce
can
the
you,
number of
sorry, excuse me, sorry, your question was very long. Can you speak a bit slow?
Okay, so I'm saying that during the present times of COVID, where the purchasing power of a consumer is already low and your company is being targeted for selling high rise products to consumers, and then you are also saying that you are planning to reduce the number of products which are available in the market. So during these times, I feel that your strategy will be counterproductive to you. People would rather prefer to go to other brands such as Louis Vuitton or H&M or Gap than come to you, since you are neither providing them goods at an affordable range, nor are you giving them nor is the number of goods coming to the market enough, since you have applied for scarcity marketing.
So can I answer now?
Yes.
So
Yes,
basically,
please.
to give you an answer that you are saying about the COVID times, where the people, do you even think that in the COVID times, if the person is suffering, suppose he's in a financial loss, he would think about the fashion apparels or about something that to grow money. So basically, he will never think to buy fashion apparels in a financial loss situation. So that person will definitely not go to even Zara, not H&M, not Louis Vuitton. And you have mentioned Louis Vuitton and H&M. These are Louis Vuitton is behind Zara, and H&M is above Zara according to the stats. But if you see their strategies, they are even more scarce than Zara. They don't even care about the affordable range people. Their price range is far more above than Zara.
Okay, so I think your question has been answered. Now we'll take the last question. Team Fine, Karthikeya. Yeah.
Right. So, the whole fashion industry kind of works in a seasonal to seasonal basis. So you are proposing a very high rate of taking out new fashions and new trends in order to implement scarcity marketing. So have you thought of that, about how to change over this entire system of designing and production that exists for the seasonal cycle and converting it into a much smaller cycle?
Can you repeat your question once? Because I am not confirmed that what I'm thinking is actually what you're speaking.
All right. So can you hear me fine now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I was saying is that clothes are produced in a cyclical manner through seasons, where it's summer season or winter season. Those are the two major seasons. And you want to do scarcity marketing, and you want to make a lot more designs for that, right? Because you want them to be available for a shorter period of time. So what I'm asking is, have you thought about how you would convert a designing and production cycle, which is on seasons, to a much shorter time scale?
Yeah, I got your question. So to answer that question, so in the previous strategies of Zara has been following a stop chain method in which it only manufactures in Spain and some parts of Europe, because they are rich and because they are very rich, as you know, and from there they export into different countries. They never think about the diversities like other companies. They think of growing manufacturing plants in the main countries, like in Asia they could grow in China, India, but they never think of that. From the beginning, Zara has been providing a very small lot production. So it is I guess you got your answer.
Okay, I guess we are done with all the three questions for the team. And I guess we are done for the event also. Is there any other team left?
No, actually we had one more team, but due to some family issue, he had to
Oh,
go.
okay. Okay, no issues. And guys, if you could turn on the camera, we can take a snap of everyone.
Yeah.
If you can turn on the camera for this last time.
Thanks a lot.
Waiting for other people to turn on the camera.
Yeah, I think we are going to get this many only. I'll just take a screenshot. Oh, we got more. One more just. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for joining in. ESL regularly organize event. You can know about them through our Instagram handle. But yeah, this event was one of the best, I should say, because like every other event, the participants really make it the best event, and you guys are really did a great job. I should say the diversity that we saw in this event was amazing, and you are a very educated audience, I should say. And in the peer-to-peer evaluation also, I guess you should have mentioned, you should have graded everyone in a nice manner. So yeah, we would be releasing out the results soon, and thank you everyone for joining. Thank you very much.
Guys, I just wanted to say before we leave, it was a really nice event, like one of the best that we've been to. Very smooth, always on time. All of the rules were very clear. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys, you can leave the meeting now. We are done for the day.